Hey everybody, it's Kneecap here, and in this video I'm going to be talking about self-accountability, specifically of course in gaming and World of Warcraft, but it is an important thing in real life as well. This is kind of a little bit of a venting session after some recent raids for me, but I do want to point out that this isn't exclusively for raiding. It can also be a group, it can be a guild, a party, any group environment. Self-accountability is very important. So maybe somebody might be watching this feeling the same way as me, but maybe somebody's watching this who maybe I am speaking to, telling them that they need to be self-accountable. And that's a very hard thing for someone to hear when they don't like to do that. Um, so basically, when you're in a group setting, and let's say you are constantly messing up the task, or you are lagging behind, or you're just not doing as well, it's very important in that group setting to always point out your own mistake and say that you realize the mistake. It's also important that if the situation presents itself that you ask for help. Now, that help might not always be able to be provided, but it is important to ask for help if you can't fix the situation on your own. Those are the first two steps. So you say, yes, I know there's a problem. I'm trying to fix it. Does anybody have any suggestions for me? And that's a very it's a humbling thing to do, to admit that you aren't up to snuff or you just aren't good enough or whatever. It's hard to admit that, especially to a group of people. Let's say you're raiding or whatever. It's hard to admit that. I have an example of how this is done quite well, though. However, I have a friend who I raided with for a while. We were doing heroic raiding at that time, and he is a very big lightweight drinker, so he gets drunk very easily, just one or two drinks. He didn't really consider himself that though. So he had been at a bar and he had, I think he said, I don't know if it was like one liquor drink or if it was like two beers or whatever, something very small like that he had. Well, we had a raid that night and he logged on and he was doing very badly. I didn't know he had drank anything at the time. And I whispered to him, I go, what is going on with you, man? You're dead constantly. You're killing other people. What is going on? It's not like him. Um, and he said, he said, well, I had a couple drinks. He's like, this is not going good. I'm going to probably have to leave. I think he tried like one more pull. And what he did, now he went above and beyond, in my opinion, because he apologized in voice chat and apologized to everyone and dipped out. It was only heroic, so it wasn't a huge deal that he had to dip out. But he apologized to everybody profusely and then left. Of course, let's say you're just a shy person, you don't like to talk, don't have a mic, whatever. It's perfectly acceptable to type something like that out too if you're just not able to cut it that night. Now, this does get a little bit murky in some specific situations. Let's say it's a mythic raid and you have exactly 20 people and there's no one to take your spot. You might not be able to just dip out very conveniently. Although, if the situation is dire enough, finding a pug might be more beneficial than continuing to take you. Another example is a Mythic Plus dungeon. In this case, what you should do is you should never ever join someone else's Mythic Plus dungeon if you are even thinking that you might have a bad day, because you don't want to ruin for other people's run as well, especially the person whose key it is. But you don't want to ruin everyone else's time just because you're having a bad day. Now, what's important to know in this as well is, and why it's important to have self accountability and admit that you are doing something wrong or you're not doing good or you're not good enough, whatever, is that if you're a part of anything that's good, so a group, a club, a guild, a game, well, I guess the game's a little bit too broad, but an organization, a job, a school, university, if they are good, meaning that they're quality, they understand that everybody has a bad day once in a while. So it's important to just say, hey, I'm not doing good right now. I'm sorry for it. I apologize. I I don't know what to do. I'm just not doing good right now. And most people will understand when you say something like that. They're like, hey, do you want us to replace you? Do you need advice? Do you need help? That's what a good group will do. And that's what you have to hope for. Now, of course, there is a chance that you're going to get a toxic response. But my suggestion would be in that case is you need to avoid those situations. If you're the type of person who either has bad days a lot or you're just not very good, then you need to avoid situations where you're going to be put into that. So let's say you want to be a Mythic Plus dungeon doer, high Mythic Plus dungeon doer. You need to start practicing on some really low ones, some regular mythics, learning all the mechanics, and you need to work your way up to it. So that way you're not put in those situations, or you just need to set different goals, unfortunately. So, in summation, self accountability is, in a way, it's about being humble and realizing that you're not perfect. Even tonight's raid, I whispered the raid leader and kind of apologized in a roundabout way, saying, "Hey, I did this. I tried something out here. It didn't work out. I'm not going to try it again." So that's important to do for all of us, even me, anybody. But yeah, let me know what you guys think about that. Should people be more self accountable? Is WoW and other games just too toxic or whatever? Let me know what you guys think. I obviously think people should be a little bit more accountable for their actions, but that's just my opinion. So let me know what you think, and everyone have a good one.
Hey everyone, thanks for watching. Thumbs up and sub as always. Also comment below, share the videos. Appreciate it so much. You can also check me out at Twitter at WoW Gaming Inc. and at Twitch with the tag name Kneecap Killer. So everyone have a good one and see you again soon.